Zhejiang Tower. Prepare for battle. Select your hero.
My throne is where I say it is. The knife's called Gracie, the axe is Carnage, and me? Haha, I'm your queen.
All systems fired up and ready to engage. 해보자고.
Let's go win this thing.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
My time to shine. Let's wipe them out. Are you even trying?
The enemy is
Come here, Toki. Here, Gracie. Engage without
Clear out. Finally, a decent scrap. Scaling up. Are you done?
76 reporting for duty.
Much better.
Experience tranquility.
Burning them down. Done and done. There'll be consequences for that.
If I made it through Istanbul, I can make it through this. At the point! Now get over here! I'm on fire!
Nerf this. Initializing. Nerf this.
Looks like somebody wants the death penalty.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Junker Queen.
This ends now. It's go time. That is it.
Test round. Score 0-1.
To find success, we must search in harmony.
Five, four, three, two, one. Round two. Capture the objective.
Fight's not over yet. All we have to do is win this round. Ha-ha! 어림도 없지.
The objective is now active.
You need aim training.
Where's my knife? We're outnumbered. Somehow.
Not good.
Lucky shot. My turn.
이거 있네.
Finally, a decent scrap.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Junker Queen.
My throne is where I say it is.
Tread lightly.
Let the kitsune guide you.
Para reporting.
Here, Gracie. Objective's mine. Finally, a decent scrap.
In range of the objective. Form up on me.
Defeat. Play of the game. Tread lightly. Now entering mid-cap. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
Strike from above.
Let's go! I've got a few new inventions to try.
Everything's going according to plan.
Ooh, I live for this.
King of beauty.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Establishing aerial position.
Let's show him some air power. Systems nominal. Making another approach.
Barrier initialized.
Let's show him some
Personne
air
n'échappe à
power.
mon regard.
Making another approach.
Oh, we're outnumbered!
glided over a volcano, Fariha. This is nothing. Health restored. Taking off. Don't stay down.
Positioning underway.
If we do this right, they won't even know what happened.
Five, four, three, two, one. Round one. Capture the objective.
Time to take action.
The objective is now.
Maximum impact.
Returning to battle. Taking to the air.
My ultimate is charged.
I will not waste this opportunity. Always more to learn.
My ultimate is charged. Junkrat primed and ready. My ultimate is almost ready.
Making another approach.
Get ready for a shock!
Activating self-destruct sequence.
Always more to learn.
First round lost. Score 0-1.
Blasting up! Find your strength. We are soon to need it. Anybody got a toothpick? Got one of them Mantis arms stuck between the molars.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
You call it? Don't lose sight of the goals.
Let's show him some air power. I look after my own. You really asked for my new counter.
Ready for a shot.
They outnumber us. Keep it tight.
Activating self-destruct.
Team
Activating self-destruct.
Shake it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
A cure for all the ails. Establishing an area of justice. Rain from above. Surrender. I will. Dispersing. Splash. I don't think so. Double
defeat. Play of the game. Now entering King's Row.
strike from above.
Shed the weight of your doubts, and your mind will become clear.
The best laid plans have backup plans.
Oh my days, my microphone was off.
We all have to put in.
Dude, my microphone was off. My microphone was... Oh my days.
1. Attackers incoming.
Men like Brax, appreciate you, dude. 47 minutes I've been live and my microphone was off. Bloody hell. I don't know when I accidentally turned it off. I'm pretty sure it was on when I started. I think it was on when I started. But at some point I turned it off and didn't realize. But all this time, my microphone was off. You can hear it get... Okay. It's just a mic. It was just a mic. Oh. I appreciate coming through, man. How's your day going? How's your day been? Appreciate you joining this live stream. Oh, somebody from this side. You know what? Big up to whoever's keeping my health up, because they are doing a good job. Oh. Oh, got it in the end, but yeah, man, listen, whoever was keeping my health up, appreciate you, man, appreciate you. Because I murked bare people, and that's what I mean. When you play as, like, damage characters, you need somebody who's going to keep your health up. You need a support character. When you've got a team where there's no support characters and you're playing damage, you just die all the time because your health's so low. It's alright. I've been like an ice spot coochie in the past few nights. My favorite nights. Gonna warm up a bit in a few days. Oh, hope so. Oof, that sounds way too cold. I don't mind the cold a little bit. I definitely prefer the heat. I'd rather heat than cold for sure. But yeah, certainly when it starts to get real cold, nah, that ain't even nice. And it's just, especially when it's cold and it's just like uncomfortably cold, and it's not even snow and it's just cold. That just sucks. Oh, that was wasted, man. I should have jumped up first. Got a bit too What's the word? I don't even know. But yeah, I got a bit to that. It was 52 degrees, 41 before the crack of dawn. I'm waiting on more cold. Oh, you want cold weather? Okay. Okay. Winter is, well, winter's coming. It's autumn now. But winter's not too far away, so I guess you might get your wish. Oh, mate. Oh, didn't even realize. Oh, might warm up some peppermint hot chocolate later on tonight. Speaking of hot chocolate, the other day I tried a caramel hot chocolate. And I believe it's for the first time I tried something like that. I've tried hot chocolates before, and you know, they're fine, they're alright. But I tried a caramel hot chocolate. And it was out of a machine, so I'm sure it's not as good as it could have been had it was, you know, prepared better. But still, it was pretty good, can't lie. Can't lie, the caramel hot chocolate's pretty good. And if it was good out of the machine... I reckon it's got to be... I need to back up a little bit. Ah.
60 seconds remaining. Not so fast. Disrupted. Systems impaired. Out and away. By design.
Oh. Who? Oosh. Eesh. 7-player kill streak. Fall and winter, my favorite seasons and favorites. Holidays are late in the year, plus my B-days during Thanksgiving week. Okay, Thanksgiving is soon, right? This parish and a couple of other parishes had their fall break last week. Parish, that's a church thing, isn't it? Eesh. Victory. Got him.
Play of the game.
Yep, coming next month. I see. What did I just get? Earn 5 eliminations on enemies affected by any of Arista's abilities or ultimate. Oh, nice. I was trying to change characters, you know. Yeah. Oh, let's switch to tank. I get 500 Battle Pass XP points if I play as support. Okay. Bruh. And you only gotta wait 2 minutes. Yeah, let me come back to that. Let me show Junker Queen some love before I try another level, another class. I'm not sure if I ain't even played the support since I got started playing this game yet.
Traveling to Nepal. Prepare for battle. Select your hero.
Alright, alright, alright. So I'm the one support. We've got 2 damages and no one tank, 2 damages, 2 support. Cool.
My throne is where I say it is.
I want to write a novel. I said, no, Jameson, you're not the type to write a novel. Well, I said, watch me.
I don't mean nothing.
Is its own reward.
And the parish is in an area like Caddo Parish, Bento Parish, Bolton Parish. Those are some of it. Oh, okay.
Capture the objective.
It's time to spin.
I see, I see, I see. I see, I see, I see. Oh, they've got a foothold on this. Wasted.
And needs a knife in it.
Oh, great. I can't be the only one here. Wish.
I wanted a scar.
Ay, ay, ay. Finally got it. Appreciate whoever kept my health up, though. Big up to you. I don't think you could hear me, but still. Big up to you for keeping my health all the way up.
The death penalty.
Yeah, like over here. Yeah, I'll say over there. Y'all say okay. So a parish is like a I see. All this time I thought parish was like a church thing, and now I know it's oh shit.
Best round loss.
It's more like a village. Okay.
Into the unknown.
Score 0-1.
Now I know.
Bother you that you've taken as many lives as you've saved?
I don't mind killing monsters, but go on. Keep pushing me.
We got Junker, Queen, and Junkrat on the same team.
2-1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
I don't like losing. You won't like it either.
Nah, I know. Alright, what are we looking for? It's over here. Oh, I got the assist. So the UK promised I left office after a month. That's a good thing. Bet they were wanting Boris back now. Yeah, it was 44 days she was in office for. 44 days. And I just saw someone post. I saw a post on Instagram that said Kim Kardashian's marriage to what's his name, Chris, what's his face, lasted longer than her term as Prime Minister. And nobody wants Boris back. Well, nobody in their right mind anyway. That being said, it's not really the public's choice. Because it's not a general election. Which means that the same party stays in power. It's just they have to decide who's leads in that party. And that's not a public vote. That's an in-party vote. So I doubt many people in the public want Boris back. Whether or not people in the party want him to lead again, that waits to be seen. But yeah. Flipping out, man. There are churches in different parishes, though. Oh, that's probably what I was getting it from. Like, church, parish. I think I've heard that term being used. Or maybe it was parish church. But I'm sure I've heard that phrase in church in the same thing. That's probably why I associate with something to do with the church. That's a good joke on whether the Brits are giving up Boris is their best of luck. I think many people disagree with that. He screwed up royally. In fact, the reason, or one of the main reasons why Liz Truss didn't last so long is because of the mess he made. You know, he pretty much screwed up, pissed off, and then, you know, they put this woman in charge who had no chance of doing anything because it's such a mess, and it ends up leaving off like a month and a half or whatever. So yeah, I think a lot of people disagree with that. But hey, what am I doing? Certainly a lot of people in London, I think, would disagree with that. I mean, England as a whole, who knows? Like, they keep voting these guys back into office time and time again. So yeah, I don't know.
My throne is where I say it is.
Push your limits. Nothing breaks that I cannot mend.
And by the way, I sort of say that Boris Johnson didn't do anything good. There definitely was a few good things he did, but overall,
4, 3,
nah.
2, 1. Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
Immortality field deployed.
Alright, we need to find this rope. Is that a robot? Yo, can I be the only one shooting this thing down though? Like, I swear it feels like I'm on my own a lot of the time with this thing. Big ass bloody tank thing to shoot me in the face. And all I got is this pea shooter. Like, what the hell, man?
You lot are making me fall behind.
Alright, here we go.
We can't let them push ahead.
Oi. Well, got him. For the most part, as I've seen, budget resources because of him. The job ain't too mandatory over there, but still, the hell do I know? No, it's not mandatory over here. I don't know if that's because of him though.
The enemy has placed a turret here. Oh, para reporting.
Because I mean, the government are the ones encouraging everybody to go get it, but I think it's more to do with just a lot other laws that are in place. Why it wasn't mandatory. But not because of any like one person or anything like that. I mean, this guy was creating laws during COVID and then breaking the same laws himself. He had bullies on his staff that he kept, even though it was proven they were bullies. Had the most amount of like, let me say alleged fraud going on, and just general hypocrisy and incompetence. But yeah, I would say that even though I chose to get vaccinated, I do think it's best that it's not a mandatory requirement. Because then there are things that should be down to individual choices rather than something that's imposed on people.
Beat me! Like hell you will! They took the robot! Get it back! Let's stop them.
But one of the reasons why COVID was so bad, and sure, not the only reason, but amongst the reasons why it was so bad over here, is because we have NHS, the National Health Service, which is a free public health service. And for years, the government, Tory government, have been underfunding it, making cuts, to the point where when COVID hit, we were pretty much at capacity with hospital relatively quickly. Like, it got to a point where there were literally no more spaces in hospitals. And then while they gave themselves all these big bonuses in their pay, they gave their NHS staff a 1% pay rise and a clap. And let's not even go into the whole thing about Brexit. Like, that was a mess. All that money apparently we spend on the EU that we don't have to spend no more, that was supposed to go to the NHS. Where did that money go?
A decent scrap.
All right. all the billions they were spending each week or each month, or whatever it was, that was supposed to go to national health services, schools, and other things, other public services. Where did that money go? Instead, we get a tax increase. Where we're supposed to be saving money from not being in the EU anymore, we get a tax increase, really? So where did that money go? Yeah. And I don't even follow politics. That's how bad it is. I don't even follow politics. These are just things that I'm just picking up. Because it's a bit hard to ignore. Where am I going? Oh, it's over here.
Keep close to the robot. Let's go.
You ain't. Oh, so let me go. Ah, UN only allows whatever to be or not to be put in your body.
I'm getting
I
back
period. It's we the people, not we the government. Why an American come in the fuck?
I'm on top of the world. Rocket
Okay, I see.
incoming.
Okay, I went from that.
Yeah, it's a mess over here.
They've taken the robot.
From what I understand, from what I'm hearing, ain't too great over there as well with the government. But hey, just let Britain and America just compete with each other to who can mess things up the worst.
We have the robot.
Touch the sky.
But you know, we do what we always do, which is the best we can do given the situation we have. Oh, bro. Wait, how did this dragon come from that side if he was over on the other side? Bruh. You know what? Her ultimate is not that good, quite frankly. It moves very quickly and doesn't seem to do enough damage when it hits. Like, I need this thing to like one kill people, not just soften them up a little bit. Because when you use your ultimate, you're always in a vulnerable state, and it's fine if it's, well, it sucks, but it's fine as long as you can know you can get a good few one hits on it, on some folks. But if you're invulnerable and then your ultimate isn't enough to take people out, then it's kind of like, yo, what's the point? Oh.
This is our last chance to take the robot.
Yeah, the conception seems to be the only ones left with some sense, and a handful of dams along the majority of conservative supreme court keeping things. In order, thankfully, yeah, right. You do what you can. Ugh. Do what you can while you can. All hail the queen. What did I just do? Earn 5 eliminations on heroes while they are affected by Junker Queen's ultimate. Wait. What does Junker Queen's ultimate actually do? Because I swear down, I'm not sure it does anything. But apparently I got 5 eliminations on heroes while they were affected by Junker Queen's ultimate. I don't know if that was my ultimate. Because I only used it once and it didn't look like it was going so well. Or was that other team's ultimate and I got some elimination? I don't know. Actually, I guess it would have to be my ultimate because I can't eliminate my own team members. So my ultimate had to have affected their team, and I took 5 of them out whilst it was affected them. But I'm not entirely sure what my ultimate does. It looks like some kind of propeller type thing. I thought it was a hit. Maybe it isn't. And maybe my ultimate is more useful than I think it is if I'm getting 5 eliminations. Alright, well. Alright. Kiriko. Kiriko, I believe, is one of the new ones. Yo, little Jake's in the place. How you doing, man? Hero is currently disabled in ranked games. Rascal. How's your day going? How's your day been? Appreciate you joining this live stream as we just found a game to play in. We're just talking about the record-breaking short reign of one Elizabeth Trust, or Trust rather. Trust, no T on the end. 44 days, you know. Shorter than a Hollywood marriage.
Is where I say
I'll see this matter resolved.
How's your day been? My day's been alright. I would say I ended up waking up real early. I was just kind of tired for the early part of the day because of it. But aside from that, it was alright. I got some stuff done still. Recorded a video. Well, recorded the audio for a video for the movie channel. So that needs to be edited up. So hopefully that video could be out in due course. But a big part of it is recorded. So that's pretty cool to have that done. I've been watching Arcane, which is the League of Legends show on Netflix. I watched it before and I was watching it again. And I just finished watching it again today. And it's a pretty cool show. I think I liked it more the second time around, because the first time I watched it, I felt like I liked it, but also felt like I didn't quite fully understand what was going on. And then when I watched it again, it was like, oh, I think I get it a bit better now. But it's quite an in-depth show at times, and it doesn't do a lot to fully explain itself to like newbies like me who aren't familiar with League of Legends. I think if you're familiar with League of Legends, you probably get it more first time round. But for myself, it was like I felt like I was enjoying it and I was interested in it, but also kind of felt like I wasn't quite understanding it either. So watching it again, I think helps. I'm sure there's bits I still don't understand, but it seems to help. For sure, other channel plural. Well, I have a few channels. There's links in the description. Well, at least there should be. But so there's this channel, of course, right? This is like where I do vlogs, live streams, and whatever else takes my fancy. The channel that I did a video for, recorded a video for, is the movie channel. That is Haze's Movie Room, where I do movie reviews. And by movie reviews, what I really do is I take the piss out of movies. So you'd find a whole bunch of videos there called Why Such and Such is Trash. And it's really just me taking the piss out of movies, you know, making fun, nitpicking, making jokes, pointing out some of the stuff that don't quite add up. But hopefully also making a few good points along the way as well. And then I have the podcast channel, which is Uncivilized Art. And that's a geek and internet culture podcast where, well, talk about geek and internet culture. A lot of it is interviews with content creators, Twitch streamers. I just did one with just uploaded one with who was a former journalist, a former games journalist, and now stand-up comedian. So I spoke to him about, you know, how he got started in games journalism, leaving games journalism, and moving into stand-up comedy. That's pretty cool conversation to have. But yeah, those are the three channels. The movie review channel, Haze's Movie Room, and Uncivilized Arts, which is the podcast. Check out League of Legends. If I was going to college over there in the UK, Brax, mate, what the hell is going on in your country, my G? Yeah, you probably hear that a lot, actually, especially in like uni and college. Like, you'd hear that a lot. But yeah, League of Legends is a pretty cool game. I played it maybe a couple of times, not in any depth. Like, I'm not. Like, I didn't know really what I was doing. Not entirely anyway, but it seemed... I mean, I guess it's not my type of game, but I think it's a cool game. It seems like a really cool game if you're into sort of real-time strategies and that sort of thing. Oh, not real-time strategy, what's the word? MOBA. They call MOBA, Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. Like, it seemed like a pretty cool game for that sort of thing, but in the end, it's not really my type of game. I feel like I need a little bit more action in my games. But yeah, the show was pretty cool. It's called Arcane on Netflix. If you got Netflix, so check it out. It's a pretty cool show. I don't think you need to know about League of Legends to enjoy the show. But yeah, like I said, it might come in handy to help with some of the things if you're only going to watch it once. Because I only watched... The first time I watched it, I was like, I think it's a pretty cool show, but I'm not sure I'm getting it. And not everybody's got time to watch things twice, so there is that fact. There is that. I barely had time to watch it twice, to be honest. I'll check out the description. Oh, I appreciate that, man. Looking at some stuff on TV. Yo, Big Bull. Wagwan Bull, how you doing? I consider myself a movie buff, so I will check out your movie channel. Oh, please do, please do. The last video I uploaded was why Scream is trash. The one that I'm working on now is for Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I'm working my way through the Star Wars movies, so I'm almost done with the Star Wars movies because I started with 4, 5, and 6. Then I went 1, 2, 3. I did episode 7, The Force Awakens, and now I'm working on Rogue One. So after this is episode 8, Han Solo, and episode 9. And that'd be all the Star Wars, well, not all the Star Wars movies, but all the main Star Wars movies. There's a few spin-offs and whatever else out there that I may come back to, but for now, I'm just sticking to the main Star Wars movies, and you know, the Rogue One, which is technically not a main movie, but we're doing it anyway. Rogue One's a pretty cool film. It is. I actually did like Rogue One quite a lot. I'll say that's between that and Empire. No, between that and Empire. Yeah, that was right the first time. Between that and Empire Strikes Back, I'd say those are the best Star Wars movies. And when I say best, the reason I put it in quotation marks like that is because I'm talking, I mean, like, just looking at it purely from a filmmaking perspective, I feel like Rogue One and Empire Strikes Back are the best. Personally, I would say, though, that A New Hope is my favorite of the Star Wars movies. But, yeah, from a technical movie making standpoint, Empire Strikes Back and Rogue One, in my opinion, are the best movies. That being said, I have a lot to say about Rogue One. It might be a good movie, but it might be a good movie, but there is a lot to say about Rogue One. So yeah, that's a video to look out for. I'm planning on getting Uncharted on PC. Oh, nice! I played Uncharted on PlayStation. Was it Uncharted 4 that just got on PC release, wasn't it? What's the premise of League of Legends? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. Like I said, I played it a little bit, but... And there is a story they have, but yeah, I wasn't sure I was understanding it. But with Arcane, I guess the premise is you have these two parts of the city, the top side and the underside, and the underworld, Undercity. The Undercity is like the poor parts. The top side of the rich parts. The rich part kind of governs everything. But then parts of the Undercity, they kind of want their independence and they're kind of fighting for that. And they're just like going about it in ways that are, well, not quite nice. Without giving away too many spoilers, you have some characters who are quite violent. You have characters who, you know, kind of do what they need to do to survive. But the main story follows a girl called Violet, her sister Powder. And then the other part of it follows a guy called Jace, who's from the top side, and his desire to combine magic and science through Hex Tech rather. And then going into politics for the council, and yeah, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. Hey man, I wanna thank you for all your voice work on Dirt Chip Season 1 and 2. Capture, thank you, brilliant. Yeah, it's so good, man. Appreciate you asking me, dude. Appreciate you asking me. For those who don't know, Big Bull on his channel does a interactive comic, well, a bunch of interactive comic series. The new one just come up called what's it called? Miami Cops? No, that's not it. I'm sorry, I forgot the title. Miami something. I'm sorry, I forgot the name. But yeah, also Dirt Chamber Season 1, Dirt Chamber Season 2 is on the channels. A whole bunch of other ones. Sweaty Nails. Was it Miami Sweat? That was it. Miami Sweat. That was it. Miami Sweat. The Sweaty Nails as well on there. There's a whole bunch of different series that Bull's been running for a big minute now. So yeah, definitely check that out. And you just might hear my voice on a few of those videos. So well, you might not hear my voice because I disguised my voice a little bit. So hopefully I've disguised it well enough so you don't recognize it's me. I mean, I've done a good job. If you do recognize it's me, then oh well. But even still, they're pretty cool videos. So yeah, check them out. Big Bull's Universe. Return of the Jedi is good also, yeah. Return of the Jedi, that's the second one. No, third one. Fourth one. Sixth one, what I'm talking about? It's the sixth one. Yes, for... let me get it on my Steam Deck. Would it run on Steam Deck though? Because Uncharted 4, it's quite full on, right? Would that run on Steam? If it runs on Steam Deck, that is pretty impressive.
Taking hold of the objective.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you got your fingers in a few pies. Well, I try to keep busy. I try to keep busy. You know what it is I kind of realized a while back that my biggest passion is being creative, and with that I like to do different things. But when you're on YouTube, it's kind of hard to just do different things because, you know, people tend to want to see one thing from you. And part of my personality is more structured. So I have like a, I don't want to say split personality, but I don't think that's quite accurate. But part of me likes to be structured and part of me likes to be, what's the word? Wild, loose, unstructured. So let me go with that. That's a word. So what I kind of came up with as a way of combining all that is, yeah, to have separate channels. So on this channel, it's kind of an anything goes channel, you know. I mean, we do the live streams, we do the vlogs, but pretty much whatever I'm thinking I want to upload, I'll upload to this channel. Whereas the movie channel, I could be a bit more structured with that, but also because it is, you know, me just having fun with the videos, there's things that I can do that serve my creativity in terms of, you know, making jokes, trying to come up with, you know, interesting ways of pointing something out, you know, that sort of thing. I'm not just doing the same stuff over and over again. But so there's still there's structure to it, but also a little bit of unstructured. I don't know what the opposite is. There's a structure to the channel, but also, you know, I can still be loose with how I put out the videos and what types of jokes I make and that sort of thing. And then with the podcast, because that's you know, conversation based, again, it allows me to be in that space of expressiveness. So there's structure to it, but again, also it's unstructured. So I feel like for me that's works, you know, for how I like to present myself in a creative space. And yeah, it's taken a while to get to this point. It's not something I came up with right away. It's certainly, I mean, that movie channel that's there now is not the first time I've tried doing movie reviews. But I feel like the way I'm doing it now, at least, is a way that is sustainable to me. So, so far so good, really. So far so good. It does run on deck. It's been verified. Oh, nice. Never. Yeah, I'd go from being... Oh, did we lose that? Shit, we did as well. Yeah, I'd go from being a lame ass over here to be on the upper social food chain over there. To my nationality, a racial background, me a student at Oxford or whatever. You know what? That's not too far from the truth, actually. Like, I feel like the American accent over here is one of the accents that I think is quite appealing to British ears, because excuse me. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people over here that like the sound of the American accent. Maybe not so much when you hear it on TV, but certainly when you hear it in real life. Because it's not something you hear all the time in real life. I mean, you see it on TV all the time, right? But in real life, you don't hear it all the time. So you don't hear it a lot. Well, most of us don't hear it a lot. So when we do hear it, it's kind of a cool thing because it's a combination of familiarity and rarity. Because you hear it on TV, movies, da-da-da. But in your everyday normal life, most of us don't hear people speaking American accents. So when you do come across it, I think there's an appeal of that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know about getting to Oxford, but that might be something else. But I'm just, yeah, you might be able to climb the social ladder pretty quickly if you play the cards right. You know, if you manage that whole situation correctly, just might. Alright. Yeah, I have to make a few adjustments on the settings, but it runs at a decent frame rate. Okay. I think that's alright though. I mean, considering it's a small unit, it doesn't have to run in like the highest of the highest because you're going to be playing it on a relatively small screen, right? So as long as the frame rate is smooth enough, then it's fine if it's not like, you know, 4K 1080, you know what I mean? That's fine because it's going to be on a small screen anyway. As long as it can run at a decent resolution and a nice steady frame rate, even if it's not quite 60, you know what I mean? Even if it's not quite 60, I know a lot of people get obsessed with the whole 60 frame rate, 60 frames per second. To be honest, I feel like it doesn't matter if it doesn't hit 60, just as long as when you're playing the game, it looks smooth. That's what's really important. When you play the game, does it look smooth? Not every game has to run 60 frames per second. A lot of action games, sure, it helps. But if you could figure out a way to at least make it look smooth, I don't care if it runs at 1 frame per second. Does the game look smooth? That's what's important to me. Although, of course, 1 frame per second might be a bit of an issue. Let's keep it real. That might be actually an issue. That might be a problem. Unless you're playing like a interactive novel or something, one of those like adventure books or whatever they're called. Is this game hard or easy to play? I'll say a little bit of both. It is definitely on the easier side when it comes to just learning the basics and get it into the game. It is on the harder side when it comes to mastering the game, especially if you plan on playing in the ranked arenas. You know, so that I feel like it's a good combination of skill and luck in a sense that you don't have to be good at this game to enjoy. At least I feel like I don't have to be good at this game to enjoy it. I'm not that good at it. I don't think you need to be good at this game to even feel like a badass while playing it. But But yeah, if you're playing like ranked and oh shoot, I have to flip it now. If you're playing like ranked and you know them kind of levels, then yeah, you're gonna want to spend more time. Just jump to the damn well on learning all the nuances and that sort of thing in order to get as many kills and saves and things like that as you can, so you can rank up properly. But if you're playing unranked, you know, quick play unranked like I'm doing now, yeah, I think you could just have some fun with it. Pick a character that suits your play style and yeah, just have a blast. Oh, that was wasted. Victory. Oh, I'm in the middle. I didn't get to play the game though. That sucks. Yeah, I'll check out the game on YouTube, and it does look impressive. Is there a campaign mode on this game? No, this is just all online only. Actually, you know what? There isn't a campaign mode. Let me let me cancel that for a second. Actually, I don't think there's a campaign mode. There are different modes that I haven't actually bothered to check out though. So there is this arcade mode. Let's see what's in here. Assault maps, team deathmatch, mirror deathmatch, low gravity, no limits, Petra deathmatch. Okay, yeah, there's no campaign modes. There's no campaign modes. But there are lots of different game types, and I guess you can create your own games by the looks of it, which is pretty cool. One dad versus 11 kids. All right. Army equals 11 players. Needs 10 kills. Boss equals 1 player. Needs 100 kills. Every 60s, hero of an army will every 60 seconds, hero of army will change. Hero of boss will change every death. Okay. So I could join this. Can I join this? Can I join? I don't think I joined it. Oh wait, no, I did. I did. Oh, so we're all gonna get this boss man. So you all get the daddy. Yeah, there's no campaign mode. I don't even think there's even a training mode on this, so not exactly anyway. It's just like the unranked campaign, sorry, unranked online modes. That kind of counts as a training, I suppose. I would say that, with that said though, one thing that's kind of a gripe on this game is that when you're selecting your characters, it's kind of unclear as to what exactly your specials do, and you know, things like that. You know, your ultimates and your E buttons and everything. It's not really clear what they do, so you kind of have to figure it out yourself, which is not a bad thing. But yeah, minor gripe. So I'm just healing people now, huh? Moira, you know. First, the game tells you each character's attributes. Yeah, like it will tell you, like, for example, what the item, what you call it, like what the thing is called, like what your special is called. But until you actually start using it, you don't really know what it does. And even then, it's kind of like, sometimes I'm like, okay, so what exactly am I doing? You know? I mean, you can eventually figure it out, of course. So, you know, it's not the hardest thing ever, but yeah, it's really just a minor gripe. I'd rather, or at least have a thing where you have just a bit more of a guidance as to what exactly it does. So when you're using things, you have an idea of when I want to use it, how I want to use it, and not just me guessing as to what exactly these things do.
5 kills remaining.
But what you do know is that you have different classes. So you've got the tank class, you've got the damage class, and then you've got the support class. Support class are healers. Damage class do a lot of damage, but they're generally weaker characters in terms of defense, whereas tank class are stronger in terms of defense, but no less strong with the damage caused. But yeah, overall I like the game. It's a pretty cool game. It's definitely my favorite of the popular online games. What's your favorite game ever? Well, that would be The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Definitely, easily. Yeah, a lot of fun memories with that game. House of school, Rex, we're all going to Nando's and the pub. I'm driving. First, me and the boys have to make a store run. You need anything, bruv? We got you. Nigel, Hamza, and the mirror. We'll be at the pub. Well, if you're going to the pub, you better not be driving. I can tell you that. You better not be driving. That's a terrible idea.
Step 60 seconds.
I gotta do a little bit of dusting. Dusting. Is that like slang for cocaine or something? What's dusting? Sure what's going on. Oof. Got him. Just.
Welcome to
No, for real, I gotta do a little dusting. Oh, right, okay. Okay, gotcha. Alright, let me come out of this. That was a cool game, but it's calm. Yes, South London parlance. Nigel, Hamza, Amira, bro. Yeah, those names you'll see quite common around these parts for sure. Oh man. What's the vernacular? That's vernacular in my manner. Made in the manner. Nando's though. I ain't been Nando's for time. I ain't been Nando's for time. I'm gonna have to rectify that. And no, I don't have 2 drinks and that's it. The rest will be water or sodas because they gotta drive. What's the legal limit? I don't know. I think it's the equivalent of what I'm not actually sure. I don't drink and so I don't pay enough attention to like this stuff. But I think the legal limit, and if anybody knows, you can correct me. I think the legal limit is the equivalent of like 1.5 pints of beer. I think. Because they go in points. It's like 7, I don't know, 2 points and something like that. But it's like, yeah, definitely don't want to be anywhere near the limit though. You don't want to be anywhere near the legal limit. And to be honest, if you're driving, it's just best you don't even touch it at all, because although you might be below the legal limit, you know, some people take 1 sip and they're gone. You know what I mean? Like some people take 1 sip, one little sip, and they're gone. So yeah, it's best to just like, you know, if you're going to be operating any kind of heavy machinery, best to leave the alcohol alone. I'm gonna take my bed to Nando's in the end. That's what's up. Well, if you're going out for a date in the end, then it's got to be. Actually, wait, you're South London, is it? So, yeah, I think you say you're South London. So, you got a choice really between Morley's and maybe Sam's. Like Chicken Cottage is good, don't get me wrong, but I don't see too many chicken cottages in South London. So I feel like you've got a choice between Morley's and Sam's if you're in the South Sides. If you go North Sides, then you got Chicken Cottage a bit more frequently. There's a few Morley's on the North Sides, but Chicken Cottage, Sam's are the main ones on the North Sides. But I mean, I wouldn't say they're the best, but those are like the ones where, you know, anywhere you go, you're gonna see either a Morley's, a Chicken Cottage, or a Sam's, right? Pretty much any ends you're in, you're gonna see one of those. And if you're in South Sides, then yeah, you're gonna see a Morley's, you're gonna see a Sam's, you might see a Chicken Cottage somewhere around, and a few of the other smaller ones, you know, Tennessee and Max Fries chicken and you know all them KFC rip-offs, you know, all them ones, yeah. You see a bunch of those. But yeah, Morley's is cool. Morley's is good though. Morley's is good though. I like Morley's. I'd say between all of them though, it's a bit difficult to say, but Sam's is probably my favorite out of those three ones. Out of those three, Sam's is probably my favorite. But Morley's is good still though. I like Morley's. Yeah, they just been chilling and bullshitting at the bar while a couple of the bartenders and other folks would ask me, what's hot water, cornbread and dirty rice, mate? I've had cornbread actually. Maybe not I don't think I've had hot water cornbread. I think it was just regular cornbread, but still I did like it. I liked cornbread. It's quite nice. Quite nice. Very cakey. So I don't know what it was before I tried it. But when I tried it, I was like, okay, it's kind of like a cake. It's called cornbread, but it's more like a cake. Well, it's not exactly that high to fine dining. I was thinking something more sophisticated. Okay, fair enough. In that case, you want to go to something like, I got you. Let me see here. I mean, Nando's is cool, I guess. But if you want to go like fancy, then, oof. I don't know, probably KFC actually. KFC is pretty fancy. KFC is a bit more upmarket, I think. I keyed. I was watching one video. There's a guy on TikTok. He's on Instagram as well. His name's Quincy SMF. And he does like a lot of videos talking about like, you know, London life and stuff like that, right? And he done one video and he was talking about back in the day when if you took a girl to Nando's, it was like you were the don, you know what I mean? Like it was, Nando's was like considered like fine dining. That's what it was like. It was like going to like one of them fancy, you know, West End, Central London restaurants. You know what I mean? Like you take a girl there, and it was like, you know what I mean? Just the taking it. It was like taking it to like the top place. Not so much these days though. I mean, Nando's is still alright. Don't worry, you can take a girl to Nando's. I ain't saying that. Not wrong taking a girl to Nando's, but it's just not in that same. It's not really seen in that same kind of view. You know, these days it kind of seem more as it's a cool place to go. You could take a girl there on a date, it's not a problem. But yeah, she ain't gonna be too impressed. It's just like standard at this point. It's just like, all right, calm. Taking a bird over here to Morley's is equivalent to taking a girl in America to Popeyes. Yeah, that's probably about right. At least from what I know about Popeyes. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, truly say though, it's like, if it's a first date, right? Yeah, you probably don't want to go to a chicken shop. I mean, let's keep it real. Because the thing is, you don't. I'll say this: you don't want to go to a place that's so expensive that you can't start worrying about what she's gonna order. You know what I mean? That or that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to do that. Or any place that's just way out of your budget. You don't want to do that. But at the same time, you don't want to go so cheap that it looks like you're not even making an effort, you know. So yeah, maybe maybe not. Of course, it depends on what your finances are as well. Let me clarify that. Of course, it's going to depend on what your finances are. Everybody's, you know, people could afford different things. But say for your average income person, you don't want to go so cheap that it just looks like you're not making an effort. But then you don't want to be go to some place that's so expensive that you just can't afford to maintain that. It's like, nah, let's not do that. And you generally want to go to a place that sets the tone for what things could be going forward. That, you know, you're not going to be, you know, fine dining all the time, because that's just not who you are. And quite frankly, you ain't going to be paying for the meals all the time either. You know what I mean? Let's keep it all the way real. You ain't going to be paying for every time you go out. You're going to be one pay. Like, no, this is 2022, fam. Equal rights, isn't it? Equal rights. So yeah, you don't want to start. I don't think you want to start too expensive. I feel like that's a bad move. But then yeah, going too cheap, that's not such a good idea either. So yeah, places like, in all honesty, yeah, places like Nando's, again, for the average, say, earners, or I don't know about average, but say below average earners. I'm probably not average. I'm probably, yeah. But yeah, places like Nando's, I think, is a good one. There's another place called Tinseltown. They got a few restaurants around London. Like, I think like 3 or 4 restaurants in London. And then other places like, you know, if you want to be a little bit cultured, right, you could go to places like, what's that one called? I forget what it's called. Wagamama's. Places like Wagamama's, you know. Places like that. Or if you want to keep it casual, coffee shops. You know, coffee shops are a good spot, because then it's a nice split. It's a nice spot. It's casual. It's just, especially if you go in like the afternoon, there's usually not too many people there. Especially if you go to one of the more, like, not like the big coffee shops like Starbucks or whatever. Like if you go to like one of the smaller coffee shops, like the local ones, you know, you can usually like get there. There's not like a whole bunch of people there, so you could just like sit quietly, you know, get some nice food, get some coffee. Hey, good point. If the bill's nuts, I will be looking for the clothes. Right, you know what I mean? What was it? Dishes in the back, you gotta roll up your sleeves. Be like that. But hey, she might be into it though. She might be okay with just eating a meal and then going to the back and start doing the washing up. She might be totally fine with that. And if she is, and hey, that's a keeper. That's a keeper right there. Tell you that. If she's okay with going to a restaurant, eating a meal, and having to go to the back and do the washing up, that is a keeper. That's a good woman, right there. That's the one to, yeah. You don't wanna mess that one up. I like Popeye's biscuits. I can't lie. So what Americans call biscuits is different to what we call biscuits, right? I don't think I've had an American biscuit to my knowledge. But I know it's something different. Like what we call biscuits is not what Americans call biscuits. What Americans call biscuits is more like a, I think it's closer to what we call a scone. Or scone. Scone or scone. I think it's scone. I'm gonna go with scone. Scone sounds like I'm trying to be posh. Scone. I'll go with scone. Gonna never fake them biscuits from Popeyes. Welcome, Mom. This is pretentious as hell. Really? Okay. Okay. I've been to Wagamama's, I think, twice. To be fair, it was a long time ago. Both times a long time ago now. So maybe the vibes changed since I've been there. But alright, alright. I thought that's some decent food and yeah. But it's been years since I've been Wagamama's. When I was in America, I couldn't get enough Popeyes biscuits. I was tempted to stockpile them bitches. Oof. Here in the South States, the top chicken joint is Popeyes. The top breakfast joint is Waffle House. Oh, Waffle House I've heard of. Waffle House I've heard of, so yeah. I feel like I need to go back to America and try some of these places. They want me to get 100 eliminations in one day, you know. I've got 49 already. Got 17 hours left, you know. Yeesh, long thing. Houses are dangerous in America. It nearly always kicks off in them joints. But if the food's good, though, if the food's good, yeah, I've got cookies, biscuits. Usually over here, a biscuit is a biscuit stuff. So yeah, we have cookies and we have biscuits over here. Cookies would be kind of larger, you know, usually like flat. That kind of thing, and biscuits would typically be smaller, and yeah. I mean, the difference is somewhat negligible, and they can be used, and the two terms can be used interchangeably. But yeah, more often than not, if somebody says cookie, they're referring to something a bit larger, whereas somebody says biscuit, they're referring to something a bit smaller. Of course, there are Maryland cookies, which are smaller, and they're still called Maryland cookies. But then I think those are an American name that came over, so that's probably why. Waffle House can be once in a while, no joke. Maryland cookies, nice. So they are quite nice. They are quite nice. Let me play support. Chocolate chip already. I like the ones I tried. These ones the other day. It was like white chocolate, I think it was. Was it? I can't remember. It was like a yellow packet or a gold packet, maybe. I think it was a yellow packet. It was like Maryland white chocolate cookies, white chocolate chip cookies, something like that. And yeah. You know them ones where you buy a packet of biscuits, and you say to yourself, let me just have one or two for now, and I save the rest for later. And you end up eating a whole packet in like 2 minutes. It's like that. It's like that.
I'll find my own path.
Oh, okay. So it does actually tell you what the things are. What's going on? Why is nothing shown on screen? There we go. I think I might have hit something by mistake. Okay. Teleport directly to an ally. Okay. Throw protective charm.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Attackers incoming.
Throw protective charm to make allies become briefly invulnerable and encleansed. Space wall climb. Jump call right. Roll support automatically. Channel a burst of healing talismans. Throw projectile deals increase critical damage. Okay. Thank you. Summon a fox spirit that rushes towards, accelerates them forward, accelerates the movement, attack speed, and cools down of allies that follow this. Oh, okay. Oh, wrong button. So I really could have stayed back. And not in the line of fire. Moorish indeed. Like over here, a lot of people in the US are impressed by British accents. You see the only accents here are Southern, Midwestern, East Coast, Northern Hillbilly, sort of redneck. I'm like that with French fancies. I love those little cakes.
You won't get the best of me.
And Popeyes just brought back their Cajun turkey. Yes, I love Cajun food. You know what, bruh?
Hey. Let me balance you out. This might hurt more than usual. Thanks for the heal.
Oh, I could have stayed. Could have stayed back. I remember I ate some Cajun food in Milwaukee. I don't know if I even tried Cajun food. I need to rectify that as well. There's so many things I haven't done that I should do. Oh. Oh, you shoot. Blew my mind. It was so good. My taste buds went berserk. Taste explosion.
Lick my wounds. Let's go.
There is something about meat in America that just hits different with meat in the UK. At least when, you know, that I've tried. I'm sure it's going to be different in different places and all that. But there is something about, like, I don't know, man. Like when I tried some of that stuff over there, it was just. Oof. I don't really like playing as support. I don't like playing as support at all. I suck at it. And I don't mind playing characters that I suck at, but boy, this is just brutal.
I don't give up that easily.
Oh, I have to stick with support, don't I? Alright, fair enough. This is the life I chose.
Hey. I will not let you fall. Like mending a shadow.
Oh, this was a terrible idea. Same here too. That's part of the culture and cuisine. That Cajun and Creole spices will put something in you. If I lived in America, I swear I would be obese as hell by now. I feel there's a lot of obese people in America that might agree with you. Mate.
I'm here.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Activating strong sequence.
Like mending a shadow.
Ash here.
I need healing.
I've got you. I'm with you. Soothing your wounds.
So food, so especially will add some weight for sure. Roll over homemade cooking.
I don't give up that easily.
Oh well. Oh well.
Play of the game.
Oh, fun. Complete 7 games as heroes, not in your top 3 most played. Alright. Cool. Cool. I'll take it. Let me allow that though. Veggie, I would just stick to mac and cheese and collard greens. Oh right, yeah, you did say you were vegetarian. My bad, my bad. But yeah, man, like American food, like certain American foods at least anyway, like there's just something about it, man. There's just something about it. Like, I mean, I've only been to New York. And even then it was like, you know, the Magnolia Bakery was just on point. You know, when I had the Philly cheesesteak, on point. You know, just certain foods, man. And then man are telling me that, oh yeah, the Philly cheesesteaks aren't even the best in New York, like they're better in Philadelphia because you know, that's where it's originated. So now I'm like, bro, if they're this good here, man, let me take a trip down to Philly one of these days. You know what I mean? So tried authentic Mexican food in America. Wow. We don't really get authentic foods over here. Well, outside of British foods, of course. But yeah, like, I mean, you probably can. I'm sure you can get authentic Mexican food, authentic, say, Chinese food and so on. But I feel like a lot of times what you really get is British ingredients mixed up in a Mexican style. You know, that's really what it is. That's really what it is. You're not getting a fajita, you're getting a fajita, mate. That's what it is. It's like, you're not getting a burrito. You get a burrito, mate. That's what it is. You're not getting a quesadilla, you're getting a quesadilla, mate. That's what it is. That crap Joe Oliver cooked don't count for real. I ain't never tried none of his food, and I have no intention of it. Look, I'm sure that guy knows about food. I ain't trying to say that. I'm sure he knows his way around the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. But the stuff I've seen that guy cook, I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm sure he can make a nice beans on toast or whatever, but the rest of it, I'm good. That food came from my demographic: chitlings, collard greens, neck bones, pig feet, hog mugs, fried chicken, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, sweet potato pie, potato salad. What's a hog mug? Hog mugs. Is that like a type of pig? History from that is that it's leftovers and scraps given to the slaves from the masters. Animals washed, seasoned, then cooked again. Yeah. That be the truth. The bits of the animal that the master didn't want to eat, they'd throw the scraps to the slaves, and then they took them and made these meals out of them. They took the scraps they had and made banquets. Now, if you don't mind, I want y'all to think about that for a second. They were given scraps and they made banquets. That's resilience right there. That is resilience. Like, how many of us have been like in situations where we don't have the things we want and we pretty much tap out, right? They were given the scraps and they made banquets. That's like A-Team, you know what I mean? Like, you know, we watched the A-Team. Granted, it's an old school reference. Some of you might not even get it. But the A-Team was a show back in the day. And they'd be like locked in like a basement somewhere with nothing but a paper clip and a stapler. And they'll just make a tank out of it. You know, it was never fully explained how they managed to make the things they made. But they made like the badassest things out of just like what they found in a shed somewhere. You know, like an empty shed is like a tin of paint and a hammer, and they make like a full-on gun turret or something, you know. But that's what it was. It's like, that's what it is. It's like, you know, they were given scraps and they made banquets, and that's resilience right there. The food goes back to slavery days where master used to give us the scraps, yeah. And we took scraps and turned it into a gastronomic blender, yeah. Yeah, the hog maws is the stomach of a... Oh, I see. Well, I'm descendants of a hella resistant group of people. It runs in the DNA, dog. Hey. Keep that resilience, man. Keep that resilience. The world will try to take it from you, but you gotta be resilient enough to keep it. Forefathers were nothing if not resourceful. I think there's definitely something to be said about growing up in an environment where you don't have much, right? And not even necessarily as extreme as like a slavery, but just any kind of environment where you don't have a lot of resources, you don't have you know, a lot of food, a lot of whatever. You know, there's something to be said about being in an environment like that and what it can do to a person. Because I feel like one of two things could happen. It could either make you or break you. Literally, it could either make you or break you. You know, like you could either be in that kind of environment and come out with an attitude of, I can do anything, you know, or you can be in that kind of environment and come out with an attitude of, nothing's fair, everything sucks, and I can't do anything, you know, that sort of thing. And I don't know if there's a right or wrong attitude to have, because at the end of the day, life is all kinds of complications. But when you look at, let's say, who you would rather be in this world and the attitudes and traits that they have, you know, which one would you rather be? You'd rather be the one that is resilient. You'd rather be the one that keeps pushing forward. You'd rather be the one that, well, generally speaking, these are things that people have, rather have, of course, individuals different. But, you know what I mean? These are ones that, these things that people, traits that people have. But I think there's something to be said about how those traits come about. You know, resilience is born out of hard times. If things are too easy for you, then you don't really have a chance to develop resilience. All right. But then is the answer, let's say you're born into a more well-off situation where you have resources and this and pretty much anything you need and want. Is the answer to building resilience taking all that away and putting yourself in a situation where you don't have anything? Or are there other ways of building resilience? Maybe there's like, I don't know, a balance or something to be had. I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling right now. But yeah. Rex, FBA have got a proud history. They overcome so much. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, what did I do it again? What the hell? I think I'm pressing buttons without realizing. That doesn't matter anyway. I'm getting ready to wrap up soon, to be honest with you. I've been streaming for a little bit. I think it's about time to start winding down, so let me switch off this screen. Yeah, still, on my amounts of shit. Much at all. But that lineage runs in me. Well, you can do anything you put your mind to, even if that is not doing anything at all. By the way, when I talk about resilience and things like that, I don't believe that everybody has to, you know, be something big in this world, you know. I think there's definitely a beauty in being average, and that there still can be an ambition in that, and there still can be a success in that, and there still can be a resilience in that. It just looks different to how the world typically sees it, but it doesn't mean that it's not there. You know, I think oftentimes in our society, especially sort of Western societies, we kind of come up with this idea that you have to make a lot of money, you have to have a lot of power, you have to have a lot of status, you know, things like that, to be the man. You know, you have to own this, have that, you know, do this by the time you're 25, by the time you're 30, by the time you're 40, etc., right? And as you go through it, because we hear these messages throughout our childhood, throughout our early adult years, our teenage years, and you know, the whole thing. You know, we internalize all that to some capacity, and we spend, well, some of us spend a good part of our lives just trying to work towards these things and really achieve these things. Meanwhile, it's not something that we really want on a deeper level. And sometimes all you want is just to be able to do the things you enjoy, you know, go to your job, do your work, go home, and just do the things you enjoy, and that's it. And I think that can still be a success, because you've achieved a life that you can maintain, that is sustainable and happy for you. But I don't think we celebrate that kind of success enough. You know, we look at all the people without all the big money, and we try to convince ourselves that's what we want. And of course, it's nice to have money. I ain't saying that. You know, if anyone would give me £1 million, I ain't gonna say no, right? But at the same time, how you get that money matters as well. You know what I mean? Like, how you go about in this world matters. Because if somebody says to you, yeah, you could have £1 million, you could be world famous, but you gotta sell your soul to get it, you know, then it's like, is it really worth it? You know, is it really worth abandoning your morals, abandoning your principles, abandoning your dignity, abandoning everything that makes you who you are for that money and that fame and that power? Because people do that all the time. Most of them don't even realize that's what they're doing. But some of us kind of look at that and see what needs to be done to be in those positions and think to ourselves, no, that's not what I want to do. I don't believe the cost to me is worth the reward, right? So we step away from that and say, my success is going to be determined by me creating a life for myself that is sustainable and that I could be happy in, you know. And that might not look like, you know, big fancy job in a city, sitting on the top floor of some office somewhere. It might not be that. You know, people who want to do that, if you're happy doing it, I ain't saying that, you know, do you. But it might not mean that for everybody. And I don't think we celebrate that form of success, that form of ambition, or that form of resilience to be able to resist all the temptations of the world, to go to those places. Because let's face it, there's a lot of temptations to do things that you don't want to do to get something that you want, right? There's a lot of temptations for that. Resilience in resisting that. We don't celebrate that enough. You know, we don't celebrate the ambition that says, because ambition by its definition is really is working towards something, working towards achieving something, right? That's what it is. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be a big area manager at some big company. It could just mean that I'm trying to achieve a life for myself. I'm trying to achieve a life that I can be happy in. You know, that's ambition. And then achieving that is success. But yeah, I don't think we celebrate that kind of ambition, that kind of resilience, that kind of success enough. You know, and I get it. It's not sexy, right, to say I'm a successful person because I don't know, I paid all my bills last month and I still had money left over. Yes, so some change that I didn't starve to death. That's success to me. It doesn't. That don't sound sexy. That's something that you put in a magazine. I get it. There's not much you can do to change that. It's just the way the world is. But I do feel like, yeah, we need to acknowledge different types of success, different types of achievement, different types of ambition, different types of resilience, because it doesn't always look in the way that we've been taught to look for. And quite frankly, a lot of us would drive ourselves crazy trying to achieve something that deep down we don't really want. And then on the more extreme side of it, people commit suicide. You know, how many rich people, you know, commit suicide? You know, people who seemingly have everything, right? And they're still miserable. And it's not even an uncommon thing. It's happened multiple times. Certainly enough for us to realize that money isn't the answer to every problem. It might feel like it when you don't have money, right? Let's be real. It feels like it's the answer to everything when you don't have it. But when you get it, you find that it's not every problem. Sure, it can solve a lot of problems, but not every problem. And some things need to be more inwards, but we're never really talk about that, just looking inwards. There's a saying I come across years ago. It says something along the lines of, if you can't be happy with nothing, then you can't be happy with anything. You know, because it's not a thing that can create a satisfaction in you. It's you learning to be satisfied and happy within yourself, and then everything that you can do from there, whether that eventually leads to having lots of money, it might lead to it, it might not. But because you've already found that level of contentment and happiness, you know, you're not going to be stressed out about this and that and this and the other, and whether you get to this level by the time you know, and this job, and you're not worried about that. If it happens, great. If not, well, I'm good, you know, because you've already achieved that. So yeah, that's my little my little ramble, my little rant. Still to this very day, dog. Remember, my ancestors were meant to be two things: property and profit, and they were an inconvenient population, especially after they were freed. Ace preach. I appreciate that. Yeah, it doesn't make much to do nothing, and you ain't gotta be rich, just well off financially. You gotta be well to do. Definitely paved the way for other ethnic groups to have a decent existence in America. I got nothing but admiration for FBA. It's like my community, the Jamaican community, we were one of the first to migrate to the UK en masse, and we were subject to our racism. Yeah. That was the Windrush generation. Was it 50s? I think 50s or 60s. Sorry if I got that wrong. Yeah, that's thanks. Black American hardship and brutal positive history has been the catalyst for other groups' issues, and the other main reason why other groups has certain rights. The Windrush generation 50s. Okay, cool. Yeah. But yeah, life is a lot of things, man. Some good, some bad, lots of in between. You can't always choose the things that happen to you, but you can always choose how you decide to deal with things, you know. But yeah, racism is stupid. Let me just say the most obvious thing. Racism is stupid. That. Racism is stupid. This is T-Pain speaking right now. Racism is dumb. T-Pain says racism is dumb. If you don't believe Haze, believe T-Pain. Racism is dumb. Little note from T-Pain. Appreciate you, T-Pain. Big up T-Pain. Oof. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. And since I'm a descendant of an ex-slave population, is one of the reasons why I am pro Second Amendment, pro guns. You know, I think if guns were legal in the UK, yeah, I'd probably get one. I mean, I don't know if I'd want like a whole bunch of them, but I might have like a handgun. You know, something like maybe like a Beretta or something like that. Is that right, Beretta or 9mm? I don't really know that much about guns, but you know those handguns. You know, like just a small handgun, not tiny, but you know, small handgun. I'll probably have one. That being said, I don't think I'm like, I don't think I care enough to campaign for that kind of law. You know what I mean? Like if it was legal, I'd have it, but it's not. So it's like, all right, whatever, man. I don't care that much. But yeah, I think that's one of the biggest differences between UK and American culture is that over here, we don't see guns in the same way as people in America do. Like people in America seem to look at guns as very much an ingrained, important part of culture and identity. You know, whereas over here it's like, you know, that cool thing on TV. You know what I mean? Like that's about it. Outside of that, the only people who have, outside of say police, only people who like have guns are like, you know, gangsters and, you know, roadmen, you know, that sort of thing. And ain't nothing nice happening there. Gun control was also geared towards black people to prevent them from purchasing them. I ain't know about that. All I know is whether guns are illegal or not illegal, kids should not be getting shot in schools. And I know that's America's not the only place that happens, but even still, kids should not be getting shot in school. You know, I mean, of course, nobody should be getting shot anywhere, all right? But kids should not be getting shot in school. Like that's I feel like that's something that no matter which side of the fence you sit on, I feel like we should all be able to agree on that. Nobody should be sending their kids to school and worried about whether they're going to get shot, you know. And whatever could be done to prevent that happening. I don't know if that's going to be more gun control or more something else. But something gotta be done. Guns, if they're legal in your society, I don't agree with one group of people are allowed to possess them and another isn't. Was a school shooting somewhere in the Ukraine or in Russia last month, or was the month before last? I mean, there's a whole war going on there, so I think there's a whole war going on there. I think a lot of people are getting shot in that part of the world right now, not just in schools. They've been at war for like, how long have they been at war for? It's been months now. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. So yeah, there's a lot of shots getting fired over in Ukraine right now. Bombs and whatever else being dropped. Now, with a number of schools in the country, facility and staff are starting to take up arms finally and thankfully. Is that a good thing though? Like schools, like school faculty, school like staff taking up firearms. I don't know if that's a good thing, to be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, is that really? So I can imagine a situation where a teacher just flips out and there's a gun right there. Because the amount of crap that teachers go through, you know, that's like it feels like that's a disaster waiting to happen. If you're in the South, they're gonna learn you're about guns in my southern accent. We gonna learn today. I ain't know, man. I ain't know. Yeah. Yeah, they gave me a gun when I was on the Hobbs and Shaw set. There's a real gun they gave me. No bullet. No bullets. It was a real firearm that I had to hold. And I tell you, man, after a while, them things are heavy. Like, they're actually just heavy. Like, you feel it on your shoulders. Because especially you got the strap and everything. You just feel it on your shoulders. And it's like, some people had rubber guns. And they gave me a real gun, and in the beginning it's like, oh cool, I got a real gun, you got a rubber gun, right? But afterwards it's like, mate, why don't they give me a rubber gun? This thing is heavy, my shoulders are hurting. It's oh man. Yeah. Guns. Come on, Sal. Time to get some planning. Tonight. Never miss a game. Yeah, from the principal, vice principal, counselor, teachers, substitutes, janitors, and bus drivers. Well, they're all going to be packing. Raw. But I don't know, man. You might have more school shootings giving everybody guns like that. Imagine a janitor just mopped the floor and somebody like spills their coffee all over it or something. Bruh. Somebody's getting a bullet in the arse, I'll tell you that. Somebody's catching a bullet every time they mess up the floor. Well, I guess don't mess up the floor then, really. Just don't piss off the janitor. But yeah, I don't know. That don't sound like a good idea to me, but hey. I can't speak on a culture that I don't live in. And I'm sure there's lots of things that I don't know that I don't even think to consider. Or that don't even occur to me. So, hopefully, if that's going to happen, hopefully it works out. Hopefully, you know, it prevents it. Open carry states or concealed carry states. I think you said Brax was an open carry state. Was that right? I can't remember. I think I remember. I think I remember open carry. I think I remember open carry, but it was a while back. I think you said it, so maybe my memories are faded a little bit. Maybe. We'll see. Drum roll, please. Does Haze remember correctly? Or is Haze remembering incorrectly? Yep, some will have it on or have it in their locker or desk or whatever. That is happening. I'm off. Well, no. Going into school, they'll get smoked on sight. Going to school with the threat of death. Oof. Wow. Like I say, I hope that works. I hope that works. I can't lie. Don't sound like a good idea, but I hope that works. If that's what y'all do be doing, I hope it works. I really do. I really do, because boy, them mass shootings you're hearing about, especially like them school ones, little kids, like what was one, Sandy Hook, where it was like the 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, stuff like that. It's like, mate, you don't want to be hearing that kind of news from nowhere. So yeah, if that's what you be doing, I hope it works. I really do. I hope that works out. I hope that means no more. I can't imagine living in a society where people are allowed to walk around with firearms. Yeah, imagine like walking down to the shops to do your shopping, get your milk and bread, and it's just bare people holding out the those rifles, what they call, like the AR-15s, just holding this out in the open, no concealed. Everybody just walking around. AR-15s, got the sidearms. Everybody walking around looking like military, but and that's just like regular people, not like police and that. Just regular people who walk around looking like they're military. Bruh. Yeah, that'd be pretty nuts, I reckon. Well, nuts for people who aren't used to it, at least, anyway. Both open and concealed carry state. This is a red state, along with the rest of the South being red. It's open carry down here. The South is pro Second Amendment and pro NRA. Okay, I'm a bit confused then. How can it be both open and conceal? I mean, surely one is the opposite of the other, right? You can't be doing both. Or wait, I think I know what you mean now. Wait, I think I know what you mean. So if it was an open carry state, that means you're not allowed to conceal your weapon. Whereas if it's a concealed carry state, you're not allowed to have your weapon out in the open. But if it's open and conceal, that means you're both allowed to have it out in the open and also allowed to have it concealed. I think is that right? NRA is a proper Republican-backed group. Well, they're a controversial group, so it seems. I think you're right, Haze. Well, I meant the state is carry state, period. Doesn't matter if it's open or concealed. Okay. So, all right, either or. But yeah, I think for myself and anybody who like Jake was saying earlier, like for people like us, we grew up in places where most people don't even have guns, you know what I mean? And the only ones who do have guns, like I say, are like policemen and gangsters. That's pretty much it. Most people don't have guns, so it's like if you're just a regular person going about your day, you might see somebody with a gun every now and then, but you generally don't see just people walking around with weapons out in the open. You know, that's a rare thing to see. Unless it's police, you might see police in certain areas with guns out in the open. But certainly it's like regular folk, to be out in the open. Like if you see like a regular dude or, with a gun or any kind of weapon out in the open, don't go near that person. Just go in the opposite direction. If they're over there, go over there. You know what I mean? Because nothing good is about to happen. Nothing good is about to happen. If you see somebody with a gun, with a knife, any kind of weapon like that, and it's just out in the open, go the other way because nothing good is about to happen. If you're brave enough, maybe take your phone out and try to record it, but do it from a safe distance. Your phone can't even zoom in that far, so don't even bother. And I started in the early 1770s. They're the main protection of gun rights. In your state, is there a certain type of gun that is prohibited? And when I'll become an NRA member. I see. So does that have to be like a certain age or something, or? Your protection. Any type of weapon? So if I come to Louisiana, wait, do I have to be a citizen of Louisiana to buy a weapon, or can I like visit Louisiana and buy like a bazooka? Like if I wanted to buy a bazooka, do I have to be a citizen first, or can I just like turn up? Like I'm kind of curious now. Like I might roll up in Louisiana one day with like, how much does a bazooka cost? Like what, $2 grand? I don't know how much they cost. They're probably more money than that than I could afford, to be honest with you. I don't know, I'm kind of curious. Can I just buy like, I don't know, like a rocket launcher or something, or like it's 18 and up, I think, if not 21 and up. I see. Well, 18 is the age you got to be to own a gun. So I guess that's about right if you wanted to join the NRA as well. But then again, it might be one of these things where they'd want you to maybe have experience with weapons for a few years before you're allowed to join. So can I own a rocket launcher? Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Could I just like buy a rocket launcher? Can I buy a tank? I mean, I probably can't afford a tank, but you know, could I? If I had the funds, if I had the monies, if I had the peas, could I just like could I buy a tank? Nah, you can buy a weapon from here and not be from here. And yep, you can have a bazooka and RPG. Oh, for real? So I don't even have to be from there, you know. Raw. Man could just roll up, yeah? Hop on a plane to Louisiana, go to like a weapon shop and buy a bazooka. Wow. That's wow. I don't even gotta be from there. Just turn up, you know. Raw, that is, ooh. I mean, they gotta do. I mean, I assume they gotta do things like background checks, though, right? You know, like they gotta do things like, you know, check they ain't got no criminal records or stuff like that, right? I'm assuming. I really don't know, but because I've heard of different things, but since we've got a kind of a resident gun expert, maybe I could ask. But do you? Like, if I was to buy a weapon, like, would they do like a background check, criminal records check, you know, that sort of thing? Do I have to fill out a form, wait 2 weeks or something like that? Or can I literally just go into a shop, put down some cash and walk out with a bazooka that same day? Could I buy a silencer for a handgun? I mean, if you could buy a bazooka, then I feel like a silencer is like, yeah, why not, right? Bazookas there, silencers are like there, so You can have one at age, yeah. You can have a tank if you have a big enough property. It sounds like anything goes, or Wild West. Yeah, to argue, you have all the silences you want. I love them, mate. Bro, you could just turn up and buy a weapon. Yeah, I want to see some cool ish. Look up right now. The most armed man in America. He lives in Colorado. I heard a normal citizen in America couldn't buy a silencer. I guess it might be one of these things that vary from state to state then, right? Because I know different states have different laws about certain things. So perhaps that's one of these things that maybe some states you can buy a silencer, some states you can't. And just depending on which state you go to might determine how easy it is to get a silencer. I'm just guessing, by the way, but that's what I'm thinking. But that's crazy, though. I can go to Louisiana, get some Cajun food, and a gun. I can do that. Matter of fact, so I'll get the gun, and then I could get the Cajun food for free. I think that's how that works, right? If I buy a gun, and if I go to Louisiana, buy a gun, everything else is free. That's a good investment. Let me just buy a gun. How much is a gun? Like a couple of $100, right? I could just buy a gun. I probably don't even need any bullets. I just need a gun. And then everything else is free. It's like, give me your food. Or if you place an order for a gun, or if you're more experienced, you can order or buy the parts, then put it together yourself. Well, I ain't doing that. I ain't trying to put no gun together myself, but it might screw up somewhere, end up shooting yourself in the face. Like, I ain't trying to do that. Yeah, it depends on the state. Okay, cool. But I would not be trying to put a gun together myself. I don't think so. That really does sound like a terrible idea. Guys, it is 9 minutes past 12 in the AMs right now, so I'm gonna start winding down. That's mostly, and usually in blue states, which are anti-gun. That's where the higher crime rates are, because citizens can't protect themselves. Interesting. But yeah, I should be live streaming again on Monday for movie night. It is Halloween 5 for movie night. If possible, if I get a chance, I might try and drop a video or maybe an impromptu live stream before then. But if not, then yeah, it should be live again on Monday for movie night. Have Halloween 5. And yeah, I think I'm gonna do the game streams on Thursdays from now on. I'm just getting it was tiring trying to do stuff on Fridays. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do it on Thursdays for now, at least for now anyway. We'll see how it goes, and maybe it changes later, but for now I'll try and stick to Thursdays, methinks. So yeah, and maybe next week play a little bit more of the Overwatch, or maybe something else. When I have my apartment and house, I'm gonna have an Arsenal. You feel me? Brax ain't playing. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Brax's gonna be looking like an army surplus store in his own house. Like, all right, don't break into that place. Don't break into that place. Probably got booby traps and everything. To turn that yard into a fortress, you know it. And have a bulletproof vest. Oh yeah, you gotta have that bulletproof vest. Gotta have that bulletproof vest. Don't want to accidentally shoot yourself in the. I mean, but yeah, guys, you have been awesome as always. I appreciate you and all that you do. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for keeping it lively. The village is strong because you make it strong. We're only gonna get stronger so until whenever, if ever. Oh wait, if there's a castle, stand your ground. Oh right, yes. That they are. Yeah. Yes. Peace.